Year 7 Maths. Welcome. Are you excited for a fun learning session? Today you are going to learn to convert decimals and fractions. Converting fractions and decimals. Terminating decimals, decimals that come to an end, such as 0.4. Recurring decimals, repeating patterns of numbers that continue forever, such as 0.33333333. The repeated pattern of numbers is shown by adding a dot over the first and last repeated digits. Fractions and decimals are two different methods of writing non-whole numbers. All fractions can be converted to decimals. Using a calculator, the line of the decimal is really a divide sign. So simply type the decimal into your calculator. First you should find out if the decimal will be recurring or terminating. Terminating decimals equals if the prime factors of the denominator are only 2 or 5, then the fraction will become a terminating decimals. Terminating decimals if the prime factors of the denominator are only 2 or 5, then the fraction will become a terminating decimals. For a terminating decimal, the fraction should be converted to an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 10, 100, 1000 and so on. The numerator will then be divided by the denominator. The decimal will have the same number of decimal places as the denominator has zeros. The decimal will have the same number of decimal places as the denominator has zeros. The decimal will have the same number of decimal places as the denominator has zeros. You can also divide the numerator by the denominator. Simply divide the numerator by the denominator. You may have to add zeros before your decimal point. When finding a recurring decimal, only continue until the pattern is evident. Then stop and write the decimal with correct notation. When converting a terminating decimal, do the inverse of turning a fraction into a decimal. Write the number after the decimal point as the numerator and put a power of 10 as the denominator. To find the power of 10, use the number of decimal places as the same number of zeros. To convert a decimal to a fraction, you should know that the fraction will have the same numbers of place value as the decimal value has decimal places. The method for converting a recurring decimals is as follows. Make the decimal equal to x, multiply both sides of the equation by a power of 10 to remove the decimal. Subtract the original number from both sides, the rearrange to find x.